Hello, Wednesday. Well, that was like, ugh. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday Wisdom. My name is Dr. Cameron Garber, and today we want to help you figure out what your body actually needs. So I'm here with Body Smart, and we love to help keep runners on the road and would love to help you find out what your body needs to run your best and to make sure that you're getting fueled right, all those different types of things. And so how do you find out what is the best thing for my body? One, I love to be my own experiment. So I say experiment, try lots of different things. So whether that's nutrition, whether that's training based on heart rate, which is my personal passion, training for heart rate and time and not for distance and pace. But playing around with it and see what works best for you. I would say that science says, as well as anecdotally, I would say that I have seen the best results with my athletes when they train more for heart rate and time, because time and heart rate don't lie as much as pace and distance. Sometimes we push ourselves too hard trying to run a specific distance in a day, and we wind up getting injured because of that. Or we try to run at a certain pace, and it's way harder than what we can run on that day because of whatever reason, whether that's fatigue, didn't sleep very well, or I ran hard the day before, things like that. So I like to use heart rate to really help dial that in and make sure we're not overtraining. I found that overtraining really is one of the biggest reasons why we get injured, is because we overload that too much too often and don't allow our body to recover. And heart rate is this big indicator of how fatigued are we, so that we're not overtraining and over pushing that system. It allows us to have a lot more in the tank so that when we do those harder efforts that actually make us improve, we have a lot more in the tank. Where we improve is not in the middle. We improve either at the low end, where we train our body to burn fat better, and we improve at the high end, where we work on the mechanics of speed. That time in the middle really is kind of junk miles. Unfortunately, that's where most of us like to train, because that feels more like our natural pace, or like we're pushing ourselves. And so by polarizing your training a little bit, you're going to be a little bit more successful. So how do you find out where those polarized zones are? My personal favorite way is to do a metabolic test, so a VO2 test, a VO2 max test, as some people call it. You don't necessarily have to go to max to figure out your zones, but finding out those zones and making sure you dial that in for you, really effective to use a metabolic test. Another thing that you can do is, there's a book called 80-20 Running by a guy named Matt Fitzgerald. Really, really good book, and it has some other suggestions as to ways that you can find out your zones if you don't have access to a metabolic test. I would say the metabolic test is still going to be way more accurate than those other ways. On average, those other ways are about 30% off, which can be as much as about 15 beats per minute, which can be the difference between burning like 50-60% fat and burning 15 to 30% fat. And so you can really throw your numbers off if they're not dialed in, hence the metabolic test, and why I love that so much and why I talk about it all the time. I think it's such a critical piece to running in a healthy way to make sure that you avoid injury. But that's one of the best ways too that you can find out what your body needs as an individual, so that you can make sure that you're optimizing every run, getting the most out of every workout, making as much progress as possible, and really crushing your goals. And that's what we're all about. So there's your Wednesday wisdom tip. Make sure that you dial in your running for your body and experiment with all the different things that will help you do your very best and find what works best for you. And then you can go out there and crush it and stick to those plans instead of following every fad that comes along. Thanks so much for joining on our Wednesday Wisdom. If you have any questions about what might help you or what you've already tried, share those with us, and we'd love to help you kind of help dial that in from a third-party perspective. Feel free to reach out to us by making a comment or dropping that or sending us a direct message. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, all those good things so that you can get the rest of our videos, so that you can follow with our other Wednesday Wisdom tips. Thanks so much, and we'll catch you on the next episode.